Welcome into the Daily Reload, one of the FPS and shooter genre gaming news channels on the internet of all time. I'm Crash and you're busy, so let's go ahead and get into the news. What a lot of people are talking about is the XDefiant beta. It's been going on for a day or so, and it has another 8 or 9 days left in it, and it has started out really rough. Think me trying to do like rhythm gymnastics, like how my routine would start. Yeah. Kind of that rough. So I want to talk about why we could have seen this coming, where it's headed, and overall what people are saying. So we're going to take a trip around Twitter and see what you guys think of this game and if it really has a future or not, if it has a potential, because it keeps, in my opinion, kind of digging itself in a little bit of a hole with first impressions on the trailer back then when it had the Tom Clancy name on it, all the way to where we are now with the first examples of gameplay not under NDA are just plagued with network issues. So in my case, I've tried to get into the game and I am met with a Delta 7 error, but this was a little bit to be expected as Mark Rubin tried to warn us on Twitter that there were some issues. He was talking about it being an unfinished game, and he goes on to say one of the hot topics in the previous test was the netcode, and it has been something we have been working on for over a year. And although it's in our mainline builds and playing great, we are still fixing bugs with it, so it didn't make it in time for this beta. And with this beta, with so many more people than before, you will see some pretty rough network issues at times. And he goes on to talk about a few other issues that you could potentially see. But if people can't even get in the game, it is a little bit weird to go ahead and ship it. And once you are in the game, you're going to feel those netcode issues. So I would have been okay with them postponing it a week or so, because if you think about how first impressions are with gamers these days, they're pretty important. So I think it might have been a good idea until we get that netcode under control, get these servers under control, that it could be a little bit better of an idea for a true beta to start to figure out what's wrong, what needs balance, and get this ready. Because keep in mind, guys, this is supposed to launch within the year, and we are in the 4th month of the year, so we're over a third done with this year. And when I say first impressions are important, if you go over to Twitter and see what the XDefiant topic is showing, a lot of it is people just having trouble. Someone says they can't load the game past the main menu without getting the Echo 2. Is there a fix? Mark goes on to say, at the moment, not exactly. We keep making changes to try and alleviate the issue until we can get a proper fix. But basically, you just have to keep trying to get in, and eventually you can. I have personally not been able to yet. And then there is a kind of a meme-worthy error that everyone's getting. A lot of people, when they're loading into a match, get stuck on 9% and it doesn't move. And it actually has become the topic of several memes floating around on Twitter, as you guys can see. But Mark says there could potentially be a workaround. Once you get to that 9% issue, and if it freezes on PC, you can Alt-Tab out and then tab back into the game, and it could get you past that 9% hang. And he goes on to say, this doesn't really help console players. So apparently the 9% loading issue is also on consoles as well. And I have a hard time deciding how much credit they should be giving and how much benefit of the doubt they should be given, as this is a true beta. This, on one hand, this is a beta. They're still working on things, getting things checked out. They warned us that the netcode was going to be an issue. However, this is also one of the first times many people are seeing the game. And is this the impression that you want to start with? And does this game actually have a future? I want to talk about some of the positive things as well. Some people are saying, you know, XDefiant is honestly such a great experience. Talk about potential. Once they figure out these server issues, it's on to balancing. I believe the team behind this can revive a 6v6 arcade shooter sandbox combat. Will 100% be grinding the progression system in this, says Pro Reborn. So a lot of people do see the potential in this, as the game is trying to take things from those old Call of Duties, and the way Modern Warfare 2 is going with the balancing and some of the changes they have made to the franchise over the last couple iterations of Call of Duty. I feel like a lot of people are really wanting a nostalgic, old feeling Call of Duty, and that's why this game is just a little bit weird, because I feel like it's trying to play into the nostalgia side of things and bring back some of those Call of Duty things like red dots on the map, you know, taking back the skill-based matchmaking quite a bit, focusing on ping and some of those old school type feeling movements. It really feels a lot like Call of Duty Ghosts when you aren't able to get into a game. So it feels like you're going after that kind of older audience with the nostalgia feeling for those older Call of Duty games, but it has kind of a more newer kind of skins and punk rock and bright colors feeling to it that is a little bit catering to what I would consider a younger audience. So it kind of fits in a weird place there, but overall I think it can find an audience. And I think that Big Fry almost said it best. He said, truthfully, I think XDefiant can find a player base of COD gamers who are feeling the burnout of Modern Warfare 2's constant boneheaded decisions. Doesn't make it a good game though. I think the first part of his tweet really resonated with me. There are a lot lot of Call of Duty gamers that are sick and tired of the way Call of Duty has been heading over the last couple titles and how everything works with their battle pass and their balancing to get you to buy tier skips and things like that. So there is probably a large enough audience that's willing to try a free-to-play game like this to go back to some of that older Call of Duty play style. But you just have to get your ducks in a row before you show it to them, in my opinion. Me personally, I think it does have potential. However, I think I am a little bit fatigued on the respawn type game modes. That constant loop of spawn, get a couple kills, die, spawn, get a couple kills, die. There are objective modes in this, but currently no one life mode. I would really like to see that, especially in a hero shooter like this where you have specialists with abilities. I think in a more tactical object-based like a search and destroy bomb mode, those can play off of each other in your team dynamics and team build. Don't get me wrong, there are still objective modes in this. I just think I get a little bit fatigued and wore out quickly with when I don't feel like my life means as much and I'm able to respawn and get in and run right back in. However, I'm rooting for this game. Mark Rubin has been incredibly candid over on Twitter talking about problems with the game, what they're working on, what they're going for, and I appreciate that so much. I hope that is enough to get people to try this game out and get past those rocky first impressions, and we're really hoping that this game succeeds because the game needs more like this. And just one more suggestion before I let you guys go: if you are interested in these types of games, I would definitely check out Shatterline. Just a little bit of a recommendation. It is a game that's already doing a lot of what this game is doing, and it plays pretty smooth. You can check that out over on Steam for PC players. Thank you so much for watching this. If you guys want to make this part of your daily routine to keep up on everything in the FPS world, hit those couple buttons to keep notified when new videos go live. I appreciate it so much. I really hope I can continue to get better, continue to keep these videos coming out. I just really enjoy making videos, and I appreciate you guys. Have an awesome day tomorrow, and we'll see you on the other side.